Dan Announcer here, play-by-play for the Abby Canucks. You got it locked on the line change, a Vancouver Canucks podcast.
What's up, Canucks Nation? Welcome back to the Line Change, or if you're new, welcome to the Line Change. Today, we're diving into a fantastic piece from our friends over at Canucks Army, and this article is written by Jordan Frew. Congratulations, by the way, Jordan, on being one of the 2026 recipients of the Watchford Project. This is, I believe, her first article on Canucks Army, so a big congratulations to her. She, of course, highlighted 5 players who need more runway down the stretch, and I couldn't agree more. Let's break down who those 5 are and why their development is everything right now. Start off with the first one, and of course, first up, we have the crease. We have none other than Nikita Tolopilo, and with Thatcher Demko out and Kevin Lankinen stepping into the starter role, the real intrigue is, of course, Nikita Tolopilo. In his last 2 starts before the Olympic break, he was an absolute wall, allowing just 2 goals on 73 shots. He's currently sitting at a .899 save percentage, which actually leads the Canucks in goaltenders this year. The Canucks already know what they have in Demko and Lankinen, who are both 30 years old. Demko is 26. And needs to show if he's the bridge to the future. Remember Artur Silovs? The Canucks let him go to Pittsburgh, and he's absolutely thriving in the Steel City. We cannot let that happen again, and I've made my opinion very clear on that. You cannot run into a Artur Silovs scenario once again with Tolopilo. I've been, of course, critical of Adam Foote's comments regarding Tolopilo's runway, especially the other day, but now is the time to give him the net and see if he can handle the pressure. Obviously, tonight in the game against Nashville, we are going to see Tolopilo man the crease. So obviously, I'm very excited to see Tolopilo getting the net here tonight. But moving to the blue line, let's talk about Tom Verlander. This kid is already looking like the future of our defense. Since the Olympic break, he's been logging over 20 minutes a night, well above his season average of 15 minutes and 56 seconds. And now with Tyler Myers gone, that right side is wide open for him. Verlander's work ethic is absolutely insane. He went home to Sweden during the Olympic break just to keep training, playing him in high leverage situations on the power play and on his offhand is the best education he can get. These final 18 games are his sophomore prep. Let him make mistakes now so he's a beast come September. Because remember, season starts in September, or rather late September, as opposed to October. Next up, we have, of course, Liam Ogren. And when he came over in the Quinn Hughes trade, there were questions about whether he'd head down to Abbotsford, get some stint, get a little bit of a stint down there. But he absolutely shut those down immediately. Before the break, he was on, of course, a 3-game point streak and recently hit a career high in ice time at nearly 18 minutes. Ogren absolutely thrives on stability. Keeping him in the NHL lineup rather than shuffling him back and forth has really allowed his well-rounded game to emerge. He's killing penalties, playing the second power play unit, and proving he's more than just a piece in a trade. He's a core player, and he's definitely somebody to be on the lookout for in the future. He is a part of this Vancouver Canucks' future core, absolutely, and I believe that to be the case. Now, let's take a look at a major weakness, face-offs. Since trading JT Miller, the Canucks have struggled at the dot, ranking 24th in the league. That's where we enter Aatu Räty. He's leading the team with a 61% success rate, and since David Kampf was moved, his usage has spiked. He has played 3 games since the trade deadline and since Kampf was traded. I know before that, Räty was, of course, the odd man out because there was no space for him, and Kampf was the one occupying that spot. And obviously, it really affected Räty and his playing time. And I know a lot of people were up in arms about Räty not getting playing time. People have been, hammering it in that they need to play these young guys. And it was not very beneficial to Räty to have him just not be in the lineup. But now that David Kampf has been traded, obviously that opens up a spot for Ratu. Now, in the 3 games since he became a part of the lineup, once again, he's winning 67% of his draws, mostly in the defensive zone. This is exactly what a 23-year-old needs: low stakes, high rep situations against the league's best centers. If he can solidify this role, he solves a massive headache for the coaching staff heading into next year. Then we have our last and final one, none other than Linus Karlsson. He signed that 2-year extension in January, but his production has dip shortly after. However, he just snapped a drought against Carolina and started a new point streak. Despite having the 4th lowest ice time on the team, he's 5th in scoring with 28 points. That efficiency is absolutely wild. I know, his minutes have kind of juggled around, and he's played third line minutes. We've at some points, seen flashes of him being on the first line with Elias Pettersson. Of course, Adam Foote, for some odd reason, refuses to keep Karlsson on the first line or keep him paired with Pettersson along with Niels Höglander. And honestly, I have no idea why that is. But honestly, hopefully, down the stretch, we see Karlsson get more top 6 minutes, and he can absolutely thrive. Now, that being said, the team re-signed him for a reason. And we all saw how fantastic he was in the AHL Calder Cup run last year. He was, the talk of the Calder Cup, with the exception of course, Artur Silovs, who ended up being the MVP. But Karlsson shattered a record for most goals as a Abbotsford Canuck, and he absolutely showed that he deserved that extension that he got back in January. And there's a reason the team re-signed him. With the playoffs now, of course, out of the picture, why is he only playing 11 minutes? Doesn't make any sense. Give him more shifts, put him with better line mates, aka Elias Pettersson, and see if that AHL scoring touch can finally translate to a consistent NHL offensive threat. The final stretch isn't about wins and losses, it's about clarity. Which of these 5 are going to be on the opening night roster next season? The only way to find out is to put them in the fire now and, basically do what a lot of Canuck fans have been saying, myself included: let the kids play. It's not about wins and losses. You're last in the league. You're not playing for anything unless you consider, playing for, first overall, although we know that's not a guarantee, even if you finish last. But there's nothing for them to play for. Just let the kids play. That is what I keep hammering down. They need to do it. For some reason, Adam Foote doesn't seem to want to do that, or he does it whenever he feels like doing it. I don't know. It's something along there. But the only way, as I mentioned, to find out is to put them in the fire now. They're going to have to learn about this eventually. They're going to have to go through this eventually as well. So why not start doing it now? But what do you guys think? Should Tolopilo be the undisputed starter for the rest of the way? Maybe not every single game, but should he at least get more of a runway than what Adam Foote has given him up until this point? Does Verlander, does he need more minutes? Drop your comments and thoughts down below. And of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to The Line Change, and be sure to have your notifications turned on so don't miss more in-depth analysis of your Vancouver Canucks. Now, let's take a look at the NHL betting odds real quick for today, March 12th, 2026. You just pull it up right here. Okay, we're going to take a look at, let's go with the Colorado Avalanche and the Seattle Kraken. Colorado Avalanche are at a minus 1.5 on the puck line and a plus 114. The Seattle Kraken are a plus 1.5 at a minus 135 on the puck line. And the Avalanche are a minus 205 on the money line, while the Kraken are a plus 170 on the money line. Just a reminder that these odds are subject to change. And of course, please play responsibly. That being said, I want to give a shout out and thank you to DraftKings Sportsbook, which is, of course, a official sports betting partner of the NHL. And this video is, of course, presented by DraftKings.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props and live betting, every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN, that's code THPN, to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois, 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario, restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which will expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. This is a limited time offer. Copyright 2026 NHL, all rights reserved. This video has been a presentation of both DraftKings Sportsbook as well as the Hockey Podcast Network. Be sure to check out the network for your favorite podcast covering your favorite team at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com, the home of hockey podcasts, where it's every team, everywhere.
Once again, drop your comments down below. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on the next line change.